Hey everyone, welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars. All the details are in today's video, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and share so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thank you for being with us. Celebrated actor Erkan Meriç has once again landed in the center of the tabloid whirlwind, not because of a new role, but due to intensifying whispers about his private life. Behind closed doors, sources insist he is preparing to step away from a relationship that audiences once viewed as unshakable, a bond with his longtime partner and on-screen match, Hazal Subaşı. While neither has offered an official statement, murmurs attributed to Urkin and the sudden resurgence of old emotions have ignited the entertainment world. What is fueling the storm? Those who remember the early days of their on-screen partnership also remember the electricity they shared. That chemistry spilled beyond the set, sparking one of the most talked about off-screen romances in recent Turkish showbiz memory. Now, insiders claim those memories have collided with the present, leaving Urkin with a heart divided and a conscience that refuses to look away. According to those in his inner circle, Urkin has confided that he can no longer drift through a fog of uncertainty. He is said to have uttered a line that sent shockwaves through gossip circles. "I can't be unfair to Hazal Subaşı as long as I feel this way." The words themselves are respectful, even protective, but they carry a heavy implication that the future of their love may be in jeopardy precisely because he cares too deeply to keep going while unsure. For years, fans viewed Urkin and Hazal as an example of how fame and affection could coexist without spectacle. They kept their intimacy away from cameras, choosing quiet gestures over grand displays. When they did appear together, red carpets, award nights, brief interviews, the admiration between them seemed unforced and palpable. Their understated style only amplified their charm, and media praise often painted them as the couple that kept it mature, kept it private, kept it real. That's why the latest round of separation rumors feels like a gut punch for their followers. On social media, many simply cannot imagine a world where their story doesn't go on. "If even they can't make it, what hope is there?" wrote one fan, echoing a sentiment that spread quickly through comment sections and fan pages. The disbelief is part heartbreak, part denial, and all too human. As the chatter grows, Hazal Subaşı has kept her silence. She has long expressed a preference for letting her work speak for itself, avoiding unnecessary noise around her personal life. People close to her suggest that she is processing events with quiet dignity, staying far from headlines and refusing to feed the cycle of speculation. Her refusal to participate in the circus, however, has only magnified the intrigue. Every hour she remains silent, the conversation swells. And there's that haunting question lingering over every post and whisper: did the harmony and friendship that Urkin and Hazal built on set reshape itself unexpectedly in the real world? Into something more complicated, more fragile, and perhaps more difficult to define now? Those who once applauded their synergy now wonder whether that same closeness has made it harder to decide where performance ends and real feeling begins. The same chemistry that enchanted millions now feels like both a blessing and a burden. Let's be clear, much of what's being said remains rumor. The alleged comments, the hints, the breathless retellings by people who may or may not have been in the room. None of it has been confirmed by either Urkin or Hazal. But speculation is relentless, and curiosity is a force of its own. Everyone is waiting for something, anything, that would clarify where they stand. Will a statement arrive? Will it be measured and careful, or candid and raw? Will they speak together, or not at all? Insiders insist Urkin's greatest struggle is a classic one, the tug-of-war between emotion and conscience. He reportedly chose to confide, cautiously, to a very small circle of long-trusted friends, repeating a line that suggests he has grown tired of limbo: "I can't keep misleading anyone, or leave her suspended halfway." Those words, if true, signal a crossroads: no more drifting, no more hoping time will decide for them. People who have known them both for years describe Hazal as calm but deeply affected. She has always preferred to shield her private world from flashes and microphones, standing behind Urkin's career while carving out her own path with quiet discipline. If the rumors are accurate, her priority now is to preserve peace for herself and her family, to reduce the damage rather than amplify it. There is disappointment in the air, the kind that hurts precisely because it was born from something meaningful. The return of their names to gossip headlines has awakened old sentiments among fans who still treasure their scenes together. Clips from their past projects have resurfaced across timelines, viewed and reviewed by people searching for clues in glances and pauses. Whole threads dissect the way they once looked at each other on set, how a touch lingered, how a smile seemed to carry an afterthought. This is the paradox of fame. The moments they gave to the screen now serve as raw material for 1,000 interpretations of the present. Yet in the middle of this tempest, one detail keeps surfacing: Urkin apparently wants time, space, and care. He does not want a brash decision or a theatrical exit. He is said to be focused on one priority: to protect everyone involved from needless harm. "I want to move through this with the least possible damage to everyone," he reportedly told confidants. This approach aligns with what people have long admired in him: a steady presence, careful and deliberate, someone who errs on the side of empathy. Meanwhile, on set, those around him have noticed a more withdrawn demeanor. He's working, yes, and often with the intensity he's known for, but he is choosing to deflect personal questions, to keep his head down and lose himself in the craft. Some friends see this as a refuge, a way to manage anxiety by pouring it into the workday. Others worry it's a sign of deeper turmoil. Either way, the whispers acknowledge what is obvious: rumors carry real weight, especially for someone whose life is already magnified by cameras. Another theme runs through the industry conversation: that any transition between Urkin and Hazal is unfolding quietly, with distance, not drama. People close to both say mutual respect is the guiding principle. Neither wants to be a headline. Neither wants to be cruel. In this reading, the pause in official statements is not avoidance but intention. A measured process. A mature decision, whatever it turns out to be. Speculation about Hazal's state of mind runs in two directions. Some insist she is hurt and resentful of the constant scrutiny, wary of how quickly innocuous moments get twisted into evidence. Others say she remains as she has always been: composed, strategic, letting time untangle the knots. What unites both narratives is the recognition that her silence is not passivity, it is choice. And choice, as any public figure knows, is power. Online, the fan base is split. A large and passionate group clings to the hope that Urkin and Hazal will find their way back to a steady rhythm, that this period is just a testing ground, the storm before a gentler season. Another group, perhaps more pragmatic, urges acceptance. That not every beautiful chapter has a symmetrical ending, and that it's better to honor what was than force what isn't. The reposting of their old scenes has only sharpened those dividing lines, fueling a debate that feels both intimate and impossibly public. Whatever happens, it's clear the story will linger. Not simply because two adored stars are involved, but because of how familiar the dilemma feels. Love and ambition, memory and expectation, the pressure to define what cannot yet be named, these are not just celebrity problems. They are human ones, amplified by a spotlight. For now, all we can do is watch a careful dance unfold. Will Urkin speak plainly about where his heart is leading him? Will Hazal decide that silence has said enough? Or will they find a shared voice again, something that acknowledges the tenderness and the pain, in equal measure? Many believe an announcement is inevitable, that the scale of the speculation will eventually require something definitive. Others insist that the absence of a statement is the statement, that some endings, and some beginnings, prefer soft light. Insiders emphasize that Urkin has reached a private resolve, though the contours remain unknown to the public. What appears certain is his refusal to let confusion persist. He won't abandon anyone halfway, as he's allegedly repeated, but he also won't pretend clarity when his heart is still searching. That tension, duty versus desire, honesty versus protection, sits at the center of this unfolding. As for Hazal, friends say she is leaning on routine, close family, a handful of trusted confidants, long walks without phones, a disciplined return to set when the day demands it. She, too, is said to value a clean narrative over a sensationalized one. If a decision is to be made, it will be delivered without retaliation, without spectacle, and without turning the past into ammunition. We should add, because it matters, the buzz around them does not arise from thin air. Their shared history is etched across screens and memories, and that creates a powerful current that keeps pulsing even when both of them try to step back. It's why one unfocused look or one polite exchange can spark elaborate theories. It's why a single line, allegedly spoken in private, "I can't be unfair to Hazal Subaşı as long as I feel this way," can reverberate for weeks. There is also a professional layer to all this. Colleagues, mindful of boundaries, try not to pry, but the atmosphere shifts when speculation grows. A set is part workplace, part village, and gossip travels quickly in villages. The more withdrawn Urkin becomes, the more people talk, the more reason he has to withdraw. It's a loop with no easy exit. The logistics of a measured parting, should it come to that, are also a topic of hushed conversations. If they choose distance, it will be deliberate and organized, work obligations honored, public appearances managed with grace, social feeds free of pointed subtext. If they choose to mend, they may do it out of sight, letting time reintroduce ease into the spaces where strain is pooled. Both pathways demand care, and their circle appears committed to minimizing noise either way. In times like these, the public's appetite for certainty collides head-on with the couple's need for privacy. The result is what we see now, a swelling wave of questions and a protective silence. Fans splice together fragments and call it a picture. Friends say little, knowing that even kindness can be twisted. And we, along with everyone else watching, wait. Until the truth is spoken by the only two people who own it, the conversation will continue to evolve. Theories will multiply. Old scenes will play in endless loops. Some will root for a reconciliation, others will brace for a farewell, and most will do both at once, because that is how love stories live in us, messy and contradictory. If there is a lesson here, perhaps it is this: the grace with which a story is told matters as much as the story itself. Erkan seems intent on protecting hearts, including his own, from collateral damage. Hazal seems determined to uphold her boundaries, to keep some pieces of herself untouched by the marketplace of opinion. Between those two positions lies the truth of their bond, whatever shape it is about to take. We will keep listening, carefully and respectfully, for whatever comes next. If statements arrive, we'll help unpack them without unkindness. If the silence holds, we'll let it mean what they need it to mean. And if the past continues to shimmer in the clips and photographs that fans adore, we'll remember that those moments were real when they happened, and real things, even when they end, don't become less true. This brings us to the end of our video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars and share this story with friends who have been following every twist and turn. Until next time, take care and stay tuned.